Hermit is a card of pause, reflect, isolation and soul searching. And as you can see here, the Hermit stands at the top of the mountain by himself and he's on his spiritual quests for enlightenment. And you can see here that the star represents searching for that spiritual connection. So it's a really good time to go within and just take some time to meditate so that you can get the answers to move forward in a new direction or a new journey. And this can sometimes symbolise that we're at a point in our life where we just need to pause before we move forward onto the next part of our journey. It's also a card that can symbolise that perhaps you just need to be surrounded by more spiritually like-minded people so that you can really raise your vibration in order to help you align to the next steps of your journey. So it would be a good time to seek out a spiritual mentor. It's also a card that can symbolise that perhaps you're being a little bit too isolated away from everyone and not being inclusive, and perhaps you've been too much in hermit mode, so now it's the time to come out of that and be a bit more sociable. So this is the Tower card, and this is a card of significant change, upheaval and disruption. And the Major Arcana cards are big spiritual life lessons. However, this one in particular, if you get this in a reading, you know that you're going to have something really, really big taking place in your life, like the end of a relationship. It could be the end of a job. There could even be someone who might pass away. However, just know that this time will pass by, and sometimes in order to move forward, we have to release the shaky foundations that are no longer serving us. As you can see at the bottom of the tower here, that it's not very steady, and in life sometimes we have these shaky foundations and we can't move forward on false beliefs and values that are no longer aligning to us and structures that don't support our new path going forward. So we can see here at the top of the card we have the crown, which symbolises that spiritual connection. And know that through any change in life, you are always guided and it's always for your highest good, even if at the time you might not necessarily be able to see that. The changes will always lead us to our highest good, and we are able to move forward from these big changes and always have these huge lessons of spiritual growth, and we're able to learn a lot from these situations. So it's not all doom and gloom, and this is one of the cards actually that really doesn't best represent the meaning of the card, because it is a positive card in the way of moving sense that you can gain a new opening for the new chapter of your life. And sometimes in order to have that, we have to have things fall away from ourselves, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to die or get hurt, but it just means a huge upheaval is about to take place in your life with significant long-term implications. This is that big wake-up call you need in order to move forward with your life, and just trust this process and go with the flow, and don't resist change, because when we actually work on ourselves, that is our best investment. So we can really move forward and we can really learn a lot about ourselves throughout these big life-changing events. The Fool card represents a new journey. As you can see, we've got the person about to take a massive leap of faith off a cliff, and they're not really paying attention that they're about to take that huge leap, but they've got absolute faith in their new journey ahead. And this is a card that represents confidence, self-belief, and as you can see, the person here has the bare necessities to keep them going, and it just represents that they've got everything they need within them to keep going on their journey. The white rose represents that they have no fears or anxiety. They're really trusting and using their heartfelt passion to lead with creativity in all that they do and bring that childlike, free-spirited energy into everything they do, whether it's work or romance or anything in general life. So it's about trusting their path ahead, and it's a card of the entrepreneur, so starting a new business venture, it could be starting a new relationship. So this is not a time to have any fears or anxieties about your path ahead. It's about trusting the universe, trusting your journey ahead, and just taking that leap of faith and having that confidence to follow through with your ideas and stepping out with heartfelt passion and love to move forward. It's also a card that can represent a bit of naivety, and just making sure that you pay attention to details.